Hi guys, so in this tutorial we'll be drafting a basic half length bodice, and the first thing we want to do is take our basic neckline vertically and horizontally. Then we take our back value divided by 2 and we come down by 1 inch on that back value for our shoulder slant, and using our curved and straight ruler we'll join all the lines together. The next thing we want to do is take our vertical measurement, and this time I'm not adding 0.5 inches. I'm just using exactly my vertical measurement, my bust point, my under bust, and my half length. Remember, we are drafting an half length bodice, so my pattern is stopping exactly at my half length, and that's 15.5. And I'm going ahead to label each line so that I will not get confused. The next thing I want to do is measure my back bodice and also my armhole length. If you have watched our basic blouse bodice, you should know what we are doing by now. So this is me measuring my armhole length and also measuring my chest line to form our armhole curve. After that, we would divide our armhole length by 2 and come in on the midpoint by half of an inch, which we have done already. Then for our front bodies, remember our formula: bust divided by 4 plus 1 for the front and minus 1 for the back. That's basically what I did here, and I used all these coordinates together to get my armhole curve. The next thing you want to do is measure your nipple to nipple value from your bust point. Your nipple to nipple value divided by 2, you measure it on your bust point down to your half length, and you connect with a straight line. We want to take our basic dart, and on our half length we'll come in by 0.5 inches on both sides, and we'll connect it back to our bust point. That will serve as our basic dart. After this, I went ahead to take my waist value divided by 4 on my half length or my waistline, and I replaced my 1 inch dart, and I added my 1.5 seam allowance on my bust point, on my chest line and my half length. And that's basically all for my half length bodice. But let me show you how you can convert this basic half length bodice into a tube cut and a princess dart. The first thing to do is where your nipple to nipple line and your under bust meet, you will measure 0.75 on the part going to the middle and 1.25 on the part going to the side. Then you come down from your bust point by 1 inch, and you use your curve ruler to connect with a curve, just like I'm doing. After that, you do the same thing on your half length, and you connect with a straight line, this time from your under bust down to your half length. You are measuring from your nipple to nipple line, not from the dart line. Please take note. The next thing you want to do is measure your armhole curve and divide by 2. Mark the midpoint and connect that midpoint back to your bust point. Just look at what I'm doing to understand. I'm marking the midpoint and I'm connecting it to my bust point using my curved ruler, and you can see it's already giving us a nice shape already. The next thing we want to do is measure 0.5 inch on both sides to tighten our princess cut, and we'll just connect with our curved ruler back to our bust point. And also we're going to replace that 1 inch dart at the down part of our curve. You measure that 1 inch dart in front of that down part of the curve. You extend the lines out and you just connect it back to your armhole. Once you look at what I'm doing, you understand better. Also, you ensure that on your waistline you are replacing your total of 2.25 inches dart back, so that you will not be short of your measurements. To turn this pattern into a tube cut, we will simply divide our shoulder by 2 and connect to our bust point. After that, we'll come up by whatever we want to come up by. I came up by 3 inches on that shoulder line, and I also measured how low I wanted my neckline to be, and I just connected using my curved ruler, and I also connected it back to meet my armhole. This was me using my free hand to just adjust it to give me a nice curve, and I connected it back to meet my armhole. After this, I did an over bust tightening by taking 0.25 inches on both sides. That's my shoulder line. I just went in by 0.25 on both sides, and I connected it back to my bust point. And that's basically all for this tube cut. So you can see how you can convert your basic half length bodice into a princess dart cut and a tube cut. Lastly, let me show you how to include a bust dart into your half length pattern. What you want to do is Determine the distance between your front half length and your back half length. My front half length is 15 and my back half length is 14. That means I have a difference of 1.5 inches. So on the side of my pattern, I will measure that 1.5 from my bust point and connect it to my nipple to nipple line, and also that my shoulder line that I cleaned, I will replace it back. For me to be able to fold or take in this dart, I have to slash my shoulder line, which I'm going to do now. So ensure to slash your shoulder line so that you can be able to take in that dart. So this is me slashing my bust point also and taking that dart. You can see how I took the dart. I slashed my shoulder line and also slashed my bust point, and I took in that 1.5 dart, and I used my pattern ruler to readjust my line back. And this is basically all for our half length pattern with a bust dart. It's very simple and very easy. Now for our back bodice, what we did is to measure 2 inches for our zipper allowance and connect the lines together. Then we'll go ahead and take our vertical and horizontal measurement, but this time our neckline is 3 inches by 1 inch for the back. The back is not going to be as low as the front. After this, we took our shoulder slant, took our vertical measurement, took our armhole lines, and just connected all of these lines together. I'm sure you are used to all of these rituals by now. You take your vertical measurements, you take your horizontal measurement, you form your armhole curves, and you measure your bust value, which is bust for the back, bust divided by 4 minus 1. So we observed every of these, and the simple difference between our front bodies and our back bodies is the fact that there's going to be a zipper at the back of our bodies. There's going to be a zipper. That was why we took that 2 inches first before we now started drafting our back bodies. After this, we measured our nipple to nipple value from our chest line. For the front is from the bust point, for the back is from the chest line, and on the half length we came in by 0.5 inches on both sides and connected it to the half length. For the front, you are connecting to the bust point, but for the back you are connecting it to your half length. After this, we took our bust value, bust divided by 4 minus 1 on our chest line, and our initial waist value, and we replaced our 1 inch dart, and we included our 1.5 inch seam allowance on the bust point and on our half length, and we simply connected the lines together. Now to eliminate our back bulge, I simply measured what I wanted to use as my zipper allowance, which was 1.5 inches, and on my half length I came in by 0.5. Just look at what I'm doing, and I connected from my neckline down to my half length, and also I came up also by 0.5 inches and I connected it to the side of my pattern. With this, I have eliminated every bulge that I might want to have at the back of my dress. Note that if your front bodice is going to have a bust dart, that means your front and your back half length will not be the same. This is basically all for our basic half length bodice.